I live alone. At least, that's what I always believed. But my apartment had secrets, and someone else was living inside them. Small signs. It started with tiny changes. Nothing dramatic, just wrong. My toothpaste cap was left open. My books were rearranged. My window latch was unlocked. My chair was slightly moved. Little things. Too small to prove, too strange to ignore. I kept telling myself I was imagining it, but I wasn't. The humming. One evening, I came home early. I opened my front door and froze. Someone inside my apartment was humming. A soft, gentle tune, a woman's voice. But the moment I switched on the lights, silence. The humming stopped instantly. I checked the living room, the kitchen, the bathroom. No one. But on my dining table lay a childhood photo, a photo I kept locked away, and on its surface was a small fingerprint, too small to be mine. That's when fear became real. The cameras. The next morning, I installed hidden cameras, one in a fake clock, one in the bookshelf. Then I went to work, like nothing happened. At 3:12 p.m., my phone vibrated. Motion detected. My hands shook as I opened the video feed. At first, nothing. Then, she walked into frame. A woman, barefoot, messy hair, long white sweater, calm, too calm. She sat on my couch and stared at my blank TV without turning it on. Then she turned her head toward the camera and smiled. A slow, unsettling smile. Then she stood up and walked toward my bedroom. The camera recorded her going in, but never recorded her coming out. I ran to my landlord with the footage. He watched it, and his face turned pale. "That's impossible," he whispered. After I pushed him for answers, he finally confessed. "Your apartment used to be a 2-bedroom. One room was sealed years ago, after a woman disappeared." He refused to explain more, refused to unseal the room, refused to talk about it again. That fear in his eyes was worse than the footage. That night, I moved the bookshelf and peeled away the wallpaper. Behind it was a door, a sealed wooden door. I forced it open. Inside was a small, windowless room, damp, cold, smelling like old perfume. And on the floor, a mattress that looked recently used. Then I heard soft footsteps behind me, barefoot, slow, deliberate. I spun around. No one was there. My phone vibrated again. Motion detected. Living room. But I was in the living room. The camera feed showed a figure, standing behind my couch. The same woman, staring at the camera, smiling. But the room I was standing in was empty. I smelled perfume behind me. Fresh, sweet, close. I turned around. Still nothing. Terrified, I ran to the landlord's office. He wasn't there, but a drawer was open, like someone left in a hurry. Inside was a file, labeled Tenant, Apartment 204, Missing. My apartment. I opened it. Inside was a photo of the missing woman, the same woman from the footage. But then I saw something that made my stomach drop. A second photo, a picture of me, taken inside my apartment, dated months before I moved in. A note below it said, "Observation successful. Subject unaware." Then I heard humming, the same soft tune coming from the hallway. I turned. At the end of the corridor stood the woman in the white sweater, smiling, and behind her, in the shadows, stood the landlord, watching, waiting. That's when I realized the truth. I wasn't living in that apartment. I wasn't the tenant. I wasn't the victim. I was the experiment, a psychological test. One they had run before. One they were repeating on me. The woman wasn't haunting the apartment. She was trapped in it. And now, so was I. Because in that building, no tenant truly lives alone.